What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Patrick here, and moving on to the next example. So a company's income statement is given below for multiple years. So notice we have the income statement here from revenue to net income. All of these numbers here are in millions, and we're given the income statement for the years 2019 to 2023. And then we're also given the shares outstanding in each year. And so then we're told if the company repurchases 2.8 million shares every year from 2020 to 2023, what would the new EPS be in each of those years? What would the new earnings per share be? Now, just as a heads up, you don't have to write all of this out. This is in the lecture notes at the beginning of the section on the website. If you're on YouTube, you can just go to the description box and there will be a URL where you can go to the course website, so you can print these off. You don't have to write them out. So we're calculating earnings per share. Now, earnings per share, that is what? That's basically a company's earnings or their net income over the number of shares. Right? Sometimes you'll see this as weighted number of shares. We'll just keep it as number of shares for this video for simplicity. So earnings per share is net income over number of shares. So really, if you notice from all of this, we really just need this line for every year, the net income, and then the shares outstanding. And then this value divided by this value is going to give us the earnings per share. However, notice that the shares outstanding is constant every year. So we can tell that the repurchase of 2.8 million shares every year has not been taken into account in this visual information here. Because what does a repurchase mean? It means that the number of shares is going down when a repurchase happens. So what would happen is the company would have 43 million shares outstanding, but in 2020 they start repurchasing 2.8 million shares every year. So after the repurchase, what would happen in 2020? It wouldn't be 43 anymore. It would be 40.2 million shares. So we're going to just adjust this row over here. And then the next year, 40.2 minus 2.8, that would give us 37.4. And then 37.4 minus 2.8, that would give us 34.6, right? And then 34.6 minus 2.8 would give us 31.8 million. Right? So we just adjusted these numbers over here, and now to get the earnings per share in each of those years, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, we just have to take this value, the net income, and then divide it by the shares outstanding. And then that's going to give us the earnings per share. And then when we do those calculations for those respective years, we would end up getting these values over here. So 60.3 divided by 40.2 would give us 1.5, and then the rest, these would be the values. And then these are in dollar terms, right? Earnings per share. So in 2020, the earnings per share are $1.50 per share, etc., etc. All right, so really for this question, even though we were given a lot of information, really all we had to adjust was the shares outstanding, decrease them by the repurchase every year, and then the net income stays the same, and so we would actually just divide those values to get the earnings per share.